Outcome Memories, a Roblox asymmetrical game using the diverse cast of Sonic the Hedgehog going up against various executioners or EXEs from the ages, all the way from older EXEs such as Mist Crimson X, the original Sonic.exe, to newer, more modern EXEs with the likes of Rewrite, EYX, and others. Releasing officially on the 25th of July 2025, the game has made quite a splash in both the asymmetrical genre and Roblox games in general, amassing a whopping 128 million visits at the time of writing this script. And that number is only sure to grow with the release of version 0.2 being on the horizon. The game has stellar graphics, amazing models, and even better animations, all of this being brought together to give you an amazing experience you'll want to play over and over until the word Sonic doesn't mean anything to you anymore. However, one major flaw that Outcome Memories has is a balancing issue. A lot of the playable cast has glaring flaws which significantly impact how you play, some being minor annoyances, while others making you want to pull your hair out. I'm going to be tackling one of these issues in this video, and that's Cream the Rabbit. Cream is the designated healer of the group, trading her survivability for the ability to be able to keep the team alive. This is where her issues stem from though. Cream's heal is way too good. You get 1 second of invincibility, and if anyone, save for Metal, is in your aura, then you heal them for 10 health per second to a maximum of 70 health. For reference, 2011X, the only executioner in game, does 40 damage. Now, this might not be as bad as you think, but Cream's heal can heal multiple survivors with the same usage. This means you could have the entire lobby be under 20 or 15 health, but one use from Cream's heal nullifies the EXE's entire progress in under 10 seconds. That doesn't seem very fair to me. One thing I have neglected to mention about her heal is Cheese the Chow, the floating little blue thing that follows you around. If you reach under 30 health, Cheese will explode and die, halving your heal from 10 to 5. This means you only heal others for 35 health in total, which isn't as detrimental to the EXE's progress, but also kind of axes its usefulness by a huge chunk. The potential for one character to reverse all of your progress, not even counting how long it would take to kill each survivor depending on their skill level, is far too high of a risk to leave Cream alive. This alone kind of forces EXEs to hard tunnel Cream until Cheese dies or until she herself dies. Now, as you can imagine, that isn't really fun for either the EXE or Cream, especially considering Cream's only tools for helping herself are a sorry excuse of mobility in the form of her dash, and her glide, the only saving grace. Cream is extremely map dependent, only being able to sustain herself in not perfect and specific areas of you can't run unless you're a juking god with 0 ping. My main issues with Cream are as follows. Her heal being way too good on a group of survivors, her dash being way too bad at really anything, and Cheese. The last point is more of a personal gripe, as I wish Cheese did something other than act as a big flashing sign towards the EXE saying, "Hey, target me," but I digress. I currently have 2 ideas for Cream's kit. The first, and more boring idea, is just making her essentially a 1-to-1 copy of the Disasters 1.4 Cream, with some changes to fit Outcome Memories' style of gameplay of course. The second, and better in my opinion, idea is building off of her current kit and tweaking things around, making her more better and more fun to play whilst not being a self-sufficient god like Eggman or Knuckles. Let's get the TD kit out of the way first. In this hypothetical 1.4 kit, Cream's kit, as you know, would just be scrapped altogether. The first major change for this kit would be Cheese. Cheese would have their own health and hitbox, being 70 health and around the same hitbox as Cream, maybe smaller. Cheese would be able to be downed and would have 70 downed health. Cheese has an extra mechanic I'll get into later, but for now, this is all you need to know about this Chow. Dash would be reworked into Speed Boost. Instead of being an arc, Cream will instead dash straight forwards the direction she is facing. She'll have an extremely fast speed boost for 2 seconds, a medium speed boost for the next 2 seconds, and a slower speed boost for 4 seconds. This means you have 8 seconds of speed in total. The first speed boost would be extremely fast. I'd say around a 10-point increase of speed. The second maybe around 6 or 7, and the last being 2 or 3. Cream would have a stamina bar on screen similar to Tails, indicating how long she has left of the ability. If you press the ability again during the speed boost, Cream will dash again at the cost of using a quarter of her stamina. You're only able to dash 2 times extra before being unable to dash for the rest of the speed boost. Unlike TD, however, Cream will be able to use her dashes offensively like she can now. For any of her dashes, if you collide with an EXE or survivor, you will knock them back and deal 3 damage to yourself. I think that this in and of itself balances this mechanic, as you can either use all 3 of your dashes to get away, or try to use them offensively against the EXE at the cost of dealing almost 10 damage to yourself. 10 damage might not seem much until you realise that that's the amount of health Cream gets for her self-heal currently in game, but I'll get to that later. I'd imagine the cooldown of her speed boost would be around 18 seconds or so, since it would be extremely good as a mobility and an offensive tool. Granted, it's only a knockback, but still. Her heal will see some major changes. During normal gameplay, the nearest survivor to Cream in a 135 stud radius would be highlighted to her with an icon, showing that the survivor is in range. If Cream uses her heal while the survivor is in range, she'll be unable to move as she heals the survivor for 5 health per 0.85 seconds, being able to heal 30 health over 5.1 seconds. During the heal, Cream will also be indicated to all survivors in a green indicator and icon, so that your allies know where you are to protect you better. Unlike Cream's current heal in version 0.1, she receives no invincibility or self-healing upon use. You might be thinking that an extra 30 health of healing is useless, but this heal has an extra mechanic. If the person you're healing gets to full health or is at full health, Cream will instead heal 10 temporary HP per 0.85 seconds. This means you can heal 60 temporary health to the full health survivor. However, like the name suggests, this is temporary. Temporary health would decay until the maximum health of the survivor. Let's say a rate of 1 health per 0.25 seconds. A special mechanic that I failed to mention is her dashing heal, or her heal dash. Currently it is kind of in-game, but it's not really fun to use and it's kind of janky. In this moveset, the dash will be changed to be far better. During Cream's heal, she's unable to cancel. However, you're able to dash during your heal as a sort of dodge. The dash functions exactly the same, except instead of going towards where Cream is facing, it goes to where your camera is facing. But you can't aim it up or down, only horizontally. You're able to use all 3 of your dashes during your heal, but even after using them, you will be unable to cancel out of your heal. You will be forced to be stunned for the entire 5.1 seconds. You may be thinking, wow, this heal totally acts as Cream's role as a healer. Sure, it can be used at a range and it does temporary health, but for actually healing people to get them back up to go back into the fray, it's useless. That's where Cheese comes in. Cream's third ability is Chow mode. Similar to the arm cannon mode in Sneak Peeks, Cream would be able to swap the mode of Cheese from follow to roam and vice versa. Follow mode is the default that you spawn in with, having Cheese follow Cream like they do in game. Switching to roam mode has Cheese fly to the closest survivor to Cream, with Cheese being indicated to Cream the entire time. If Cream uses overheal on that survivor being followed, they're healed an extra 5 health per tick. This means they can be healed 60 permanent health or 120 temporary health. An extra mechanic that I'm going to copy from TD Returns, a TD fan game you should totally check out, is Cheese's self-heal. If Cream uses heal while Cheese is following her, then Cheese will be healed 15 health or 30 temporary health if full. This cheese heal will just be a complete heal at the start of the ability, not a gradual heal throughout the entire duration. The following of cheese is something I'm unsure about, as in the original TD 1.4, cheese would use AI pathfinding to go from survivor to survivor, using slopes and regular map geometry to get to survivors. Obviously, this would be much harder to do in OM due to the way more complicated map geometry. So maybe instead cheese could directly fly to survivors? The main reason why I'm asking and I'm unsure is that with flying, Cream could just spam the ability to keep cheese flying in between walls to keep him alive. If it's the pathfinding one, the ability could have a lower cooldown, so it would be fine to spam since the EXE could just kill cheese on the way. So it's really just up to the devs which one they'd go for. If they do the pathfinding route, I'd say either a 2 or even no second cooldown on Chow mode. If they go for the flying one, then I would say around a 5 or 8 second cooldown is fair at least. Now, for all you die-hard Cream fans out there, me included, you might have noticed I've neglected to mention a key part of Cream's kit: her glide. Truth is, I'm not sure what to do with it. With her kit already being better at keeping herself alive, her glide isn't really needed as badly as it is right now, and removing her glide would be fair considering how good this hypothetical speed boost would be. Of course, I'm not a developer or balancer for the game, so maybe in actual playtesting she could need the glide back if she's way too weak now. If the glide is given back to her, I would say at least a 10-second cooldown so that she isn't able to infinitely loop EXEs on maps like Not Perfect, especially with this new speed boost. Now, with all of that out of the way, it's time to move on to the next version of her kit. This version of Cream's rework would be much closer to home, keeping the same general abilities. I'd like to carry over the third ability from her previous kit of being Chow follow, Chow mode, or whatever, as it will be needed for something you'll see later on. Cheese in this variation of the kit remains unchanged, dying when Cream or the person that they're following reaches under 30 health. An extra thing I could think of would be having an icon of cheese on Cream's health bar to indicate whether he's alive or not. This wouldn't be dependent on Cream living or dying, but we'll get into that. A simple idea I had for her dash is just its duration. Instead of the hitbox lasting for the first second of usage, the hitbox lasts until you hit something or land. Now, you may be asking, how would this be conveyed? By the ball form, of course. In Cream's dash ability icon, Cream is in some sort of spin dash, spin ball, ball form. This isn't present anywhere in the game as of version 0.1. But I think making her stay in this spin dash ball form until the ability is over would be an amazing visual indicator for the ability being active, as well as just looking cooler. I'd imagine her ball form to be more spherical and circular, unlike Sonic's flatter, concave, plate-like ball form in-game. The only other change I would make to this ability is to have Cream's dash into survivors give them the speed boost as well. This means you could use your dash to give both you and a struggling ally a much needed burst of speed to get out of harm's way. Her heal is where the bulk of the changes are. Instead of being a flat 10 health for every survivor, the heal would be sort of spread out. This means that the more survivors that are in Cream's healing aura, the less they're healed for. I'm imagining that for every extra survivor in the aura, heal is decreased by 2 with a minimum of 6 health per tick. The second change would be overhealing. When Cream is healing you, instead of it stopping at 100 health, you can be healed to 110. With the addition of the heal spread, this means that Cream would be much stronger at healing individual targets than the whole server bunch together, encouraging you to prioritize survivors. This also gives the EXE a chance to actually get kills, as Cream would be focused on healing one person, meaning that you have a chance to still server wipe without being forced to tunnel Cream. A second mechanic for this heal involves Cheese. If Cream uses her heal while Cheese is following someone else, Cream will instead start healing the survivor that Cheese is following, with 10 health per 1.2 seconds to a maximum of 70 health over 8.4 seconds. However, during this, Cream will be playing her regular healing animation, meaning you are stunned in place, but you have no heal and you're unable to cancel. A neat visual indicator for the survivor being healed would be an animation of cheese spinning around the survivor, not unlike the Chow shield in SEGA Sonic Origins. Since it would be annoying for Cream to send off cheese, heal the survivor and then bring them back before he can do anything, I'm advocating for a longer cooldown on her Chow mode if this moveset is chosen. I'd say around 13 or 14 seconds, meaning that if you choose a teammate to heal, it could result in cheese dying if they're recklessly playing. What I haven't mentioned is how cheese dying affects the heal, and well, it's the same effect as it does right now. Cream's heal would be reduced to 5 health with no heal spread and no overheal mechanic. I feel like this in and of itself is a sufficient enough punishment for being reckless with your Chow. Obviously, a good Cream would be able to keep cheese alive long into the round, even if she's on her second life. That's all I have for you guys today, but what do you all think? Do you agree with my changes? Do you think Cream is fine as is? You're welcome to disagree, just remember to stay respectful. With all that said, I'm Fint, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.